Hello and welcome back, viewers, to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. I'm JT, and this is episode 27, otherwise known as camping episode number 3. So, let's go talk to more people at this camp.
It's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennec, at your service, once again. I saw your camp and remembered the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not.
Look, I was just saying that because he gave me
I'm perfectly willing
gold.
to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound?
Yeah,
Good?
yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. Can you give me things for free? Alright, so you're free to stay. Just mind yourselves.
Wonderful. Thank the gentleman, won't you, boy?
Thank you, sir.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Okay. Let's talk to you.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps? A cheese knife?
A cheese knife? Yes. So what's your story exactly?
Well, if you're really interested, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I'm originally from Orzammar, just as you are, I suspect.
No.
You don't have the look of a surface dwarf about
No,
you.
I came from...
I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
I don't like that you just assume that I'm from Orzammar. I came from Denerim. I'm a proud merchant. Thank you. Our glory isn't lost.
Well, you can think that if you wish, if that gives you comfort, but some of us prefer to look at things as they are and see the truth. But we were talking about how I ended up here, weren't we? One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked.
That's a good girl
He stole them
impression.
from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I can understand why she was upset.
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me.
So like me.
The lost tigers. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
Isn't that stealing? Yeah, better do something with them than leave them to rot.
That's exactly how I see it. The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
Okay. You're quite lucky to have done so well.
I thank the stone every single day. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
But where do these goods come from? Not the deep roads.
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the Lost Tigers, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
You opportunistic scoundrel.
Don't get all indignant with me. I hate the Darkspawn as much as anyone. People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
Everyone has to make a living somehow.
That's what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend.
Didn't mention your son in your tale.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here. I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. It may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
So you got a free helper?
Better than him living in mud and hiding from Darkspawn and Deepstalkers, isn't it? I was glad to take him in. It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
Alright, well, I should go.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, you little weirdo. Let's talk to you.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
Alright, so what kind of enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment.
And there you
Well,
have
he
it.
certainly does seem happy. Alright, well, goodbye. Alright, so that takes care of those guys. Let's give a chat to Liliana. Throw a quick save down. Liliana.
Yes?
Well, I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
Here you are. So that vision of yours...
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
So it was just a dream. Why say it's a vision?
I have had dreams. This was different somehow. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And, this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
Blight is the Maker's punishment. Will you defy him?
I don't know. He made this world. He could destroy it. But there is so much worth saving. You're such a pessimist.
Wait, no, wait, hold on.
Yes?
I want to talk.
Well,
Yeah, that's
here
what I
I
get for
am.
being truthful. Time to go back to sucking up. What was life like in the cloister? Chantry
Quiet.
cloister.
It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending.
Probably rightly
That is
so.
the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of them.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
I prefer your ideas of the Chantry.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough
Oh, you
for
are
now.
so right, Ileana, but I still haven't made up for your disapproval, so we will continue talking.
Yes? Well, here I am.
So, what would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You know, a beautiful, charming woman like yourself. Oh,
And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister, all of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique, because then they were forbidden, and forbidden fruit is the sweeter,
no. Okay. So, but those initiates can't have been more lovely than you.
Flatterer. I, however, did not take vows, and so perhaps I am not as enigmatic. The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
Well, so what did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course.
You seem to be lying.
Let's move on.
Alright, well that more than made up for it. And we come to our last participant in the camping episodes. Maura Striven. But I think we'll save her for the last camping episode next episode. So we'll talk to her and then we'll get on our way with our mission. So this has been episode 27, Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. I'm JT. See you next time, viewers.